Hey there, this is Beth, the Sweet Urban Living Lady, and today I am doing a DIY foaming hand soap. Why do I want to do a foaming hand soap? Well, you can buy foaming hand soap already made, but some of the fragrances of the foaming hand soaps that I get in the store, they're overwhelming. Even if they use essential oils, sometimes they're just so strong, or I don't particularly care for the blend. If I buy already made foaming hand soaps from some companies, they're a little on the expensive side, and I, like to watch my money and spend it in good places, just like everybody else. And so what I found was that I could do a DIY foaming hand soap pretty easy without having to make my own Castille soap. I can buy the Castille already made. So join me as I make my next batch of DIY foaming hand soap. Now, let me start out by sharing my basic. So first, I went ahead and I bought an unscented thick Castile soap. And I got the Andrews brand because the cost on Amazon was only about $38. So the per ounce price is 30 cents. So that was pretty nice. Next, I already have a foaming hand soap dispenser. So all I have to do is follow the recipes and make my own. So, like I said, pretty easy. I went ahead and measured how much liquid my dispensing soap will hold because you've got to make sure that you give enough room for the pump. The pump forces air, and you can see I've already used it. So it's forcing air into the dispenser, and that's what's causing it to foam. So I washed this out from my last batch of foaming hand soap that I had in my dispenser, and then I measured to make sure to see how much this will hold. So we have to make sure we have room for this part to go in, otherwise when you put it in, it will overflow if you put too much liquid in. So you've got to have room for that. So I measured it, and this holds about 1.5 cups. I'm only going to put 1 cup total in here. And the reason why is because it's easier to do the math. We could break it down and do the math with 1.5 cups, but I'm using a 1 part Castile soap, 3 parts water. So that ratio is harder to do with 1.5 cups. It's so much easier because I'm just using 1/4 cup of Castile, and then I'm going to use 1/4 cup of filtered water. So I've already got my water filtered, and I've got my choice of essential oils that I'm going to put in. So today I'm going to use a Rosemary Bergamot blend. It's got a lovely smell altogether. I wish that YouTube had smell so that you could smell how good this is. I'm not going to do it today, but I've already got this sitting out. I'm going to make a body wash. So come back, join me on that one in another episode. Since we're using 1/4 cup, so 1/4 cup is right down here. 1/4 cup of the Castile. And like I said, this is thick. I got the thick because I knew I would be adding water. Go ahead and put the lid back on that because I don't want to spill. So as you can see, it's very thick. It's going to take a minute for that to settle back down. So while that settles, I have another measuring cup, and I'm going to measure 3/4 cup. All right, now I'm going to put that to the side because we're going to add our water last, and we're going to do it very gently, very slowly. Okay, so now that we've got 1/4 cup, I'm going to add that here. After we add our Castile to our dispenser, we're going to take our essential oils. Now you can do any kind of blend you want. I decided to do rosemary with bergamot. I really like these. Rosemary is a nice, cool, crisp smell, and it's very good for circulation, for the brain. So that's a plus. And then bergamot is a citrusy smell. Bergamot is very uplifting. It's one of the essential oils that we recommend for when someone's feeling down or, dealing with a lot of emotions. There are a lot of essential oils that are helpful, but bergamot is kind of like that go-to. So I really like that. Now, please be sure to dilute all essential oils when using them according to how they're being used. So if you go to my website at sweeturbanliving.com and click the aromatherapy icon, you'll see the safety guidelines for using essential oils. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 5 or 6 drops, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drops of my bergamot. And then I'm going to do 6 drops of my rosemary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And some essential oils come out easier than others. So now that I have my Castille and my essential oil choices in, I'm going to very slowly pour in my water. So I have this. This is filtered water. And that's very important that it's a slow pour, because if you do it too fast, it'll cause it to bubble and it won't blend. Okay, here we go. Okay, so what I've got now is I've got this wooden dowel, and I'm just going to put it in, and I'm going to gently kind of stir it together to get it to blend. We don't want a big mess. Let me see what that smells like. Oh yeah, that smells, rosemary and bergamot are nice together. The rosemary is nice and clean and crisp smelling. It's like, without being, too chemical. It's not chemical, it's essential oil. Well, essential oils are made of chemicals, don't get me wrong. But that industrial chemical smell that's not it. It's a nice crisp smell and blended with that beautiful citrus bergamot. It's amazing. After stirring it up, one of the things that I like to do too is kind of turn it upside down. And because sometimes the Castile soap sits at the bottom, so we're just going to move it back and forth gently, get some of that that's sticking right there to the bottom, get it moving towards the top. And if you want to then take and blend it together a little bit more, take your dowel like that. And then, now that we've got it nicely blended together, let's pump some out. And we can see it's foaming. Now I get to go wash my hands. Thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget, we're going to do more DIY with essential oils. I'm going to make a winter body wash next. So please be sure to subscribe, click that like button, and hit the notifications. I'd love for you to join me on my sweet urban journey. Thanks.